This grass is named Juncow grass. It's invented by Chinese scientist Lin Zhanxi. So Juncow grass means Jun means fungi, and cow means grass. Juncow grass is invented in China and as a hybrid and perennial for 20 years, over 20 years. It has been introduced to over 108 countries and promoted by UN Peace and Development Trust Fund. As this grass has been recognized as African Chinese new solution for African poverty alleviation. The grass introduced to Kenya with the approval of cafes. We can see this grass has no seeds, no flower. So it's free of pest and free risk of plant invasion. The grass can be used for animal fodder, also can be used for mushroom production. And it has multiple functions such as desertification, degradation, soil aeration, and improving biodiversity. So this is a product for Africa to cope with climate change. This grass, after plantation for 2 months, we harvest every 2 months, harvest once. It can go about 2 meters. 1 year, it goes for about 6 or 8 meters high. The protein is about 18.6%. While it is fresh like this one, the crude protein is about 16 up to 18%. Once it's growing higher, above 2 or 3 meters higher, the crude protein is about 13.5% above. So we use it as for roughage. Once it is fresh like this one, we use it for concentrate for the dairy cows. Using this fodder, we can increase the milk production at least 50% higher, and reducing the dairy cost about 50%. We are going to sell the grass at 50% of Burma Road hay. So we are going to supply the cuttings to the local farmers, welcome the broadened inclusion of the livestock farmers to join with us to promote this Juncow grass plantation. During the drought period, as we know, over 50% of animals are dying in the ASO counties. So with this grass, after silage, it can be reserved for 2 up to 3 years. And we can challenge with the drought crisis and help the farmers. So this grass is going to address fodder shortage for good once it is planted. Locally, there are different plants for animal feeds, such as Burma rose, Napier grass, Bracharia, and the whole maize plant. So Burma hay, because of its poor yielding and no crude protein, it is planted in some area by rain feed. And Napier grass, it is popular in this country, but it is lower in crude protein and yielding, and also it has disease, so it's not properly promoted. This maize the country is in shortage of food supply. This maize as feed used for animal feeds is going to cause the conflict between crop production and livestock herders. So this grass can address this challenge and saving food for the human being. After plantation of the grass, it takes about 2 months. It's growing up to 1.5 up to 2 meters high. So we can harvest at this height. We can harvest once. Yeah. So every year it can be harvested for 6 times. Per acre, we expect about 150 up to 180 tons in case water and fertilizer sufficient applied. After harvesting, we take it to workshop for crushing and silage. Each package about 50 to 60 kilo. We're selling 1,000 shilling up to 1,200 shilling, which is 50% of Burma hay. As a napier grass, it is more popular for long history. Compared with this drink-out grass, it is a hybrid and has a high yielding and high crude protein. It's much more superior than napier grass. So this grass can be widely accepted by the livestock farmers. This grass plantation, once you plant it, just give it manure and also feed with sufficient water, particularly during the first year, the roots going down deeply, so it grows very well. We don't need any intensive supervision and technical backup for this grass. It's growing very fast, and the roots deepening to underground about 1.5 up to 2 meters deep, so it is sustainable with the underground humidity. So it is a perennial over 25 years up to 30 years. Yeah, this grass has been introduced to Nakuru County, Kajiado, Wajir, Turkana, Kitui County, and Kakamega, Bogoma, and others. So from the farmers' response, the grass growing well and accepted by the livestock production. This grass can be used as a substrate for mushroom production. Initially, this grass was invented for the purpose of mushroom production to substitute forest harvesting, to save the forest. Thereafter, we found this grass has more multifunctional use as fodder grass and also for desertification. And we are going to establish a mushroom production center in Kitui County and other counties to help the farmers for the purpose of food security. This farm, in the peak season, we have nearly about 80 people per day. Once it is planted and irrigation system established, we maintain about 25 neighbors daily. We don't use much fertilizer, we just use manure from the neighboring farms. Each acre we use about 6 or up to 8 metric tons manure. Yeah. And for the water, it's the key for the success of the farm plantation. As we know, water is a lifeline for all farming plants. Without water, there will be no good harvesting expected. So compared with Burma hay, which is based on the rainfalls, nowadays because of the climate change, rainfalls not reliable. So we must drill borehole using the underground water to make the plants sustainable, so it can produce high yieldings. Yeah, this is the only solution for Kenya's livestock production. Without the forage supply, all efforts for commercialization of livestock production will be in vain. We must beginning from fodder production first. Inside of the stem, we see the soft content, which has rich crude protein. After processing, this one becomes soft, and all of the fibers are softened and crushed to different sizes. If it is like this 3 centimeter up to 5 centimeter, it's going to be consumed by goat and the cow. And then we can also crush it to powder for fish, chicken, pig, rabbit, and so on.